So, I had been using PopOS for the best part of 2 months, and it was pretty nice. Everything was working nicely, and I had no issues with anything. From packages to drivers to compatibility with my hardware, everything just worked. Which is what you would expect from a Just Works distro. However, over the past 2 weeks, I had noticed some interesting stuff happening with my system. Let's get into it. I'll start with the Gnome desktop/tiling manager. It is a really useful tool, as described in my previous PapaWest video. Check it out. However, it was always a bit clunky. Dragging tiles was a little weird. You always had to get it in the correct spot, otherwise the window would either maximize or disappear, or even crash, with the only way to get unstuck being to either stop the process with something like htop or refresh the desktop with Alt and F2, I think it is. Now, this wasn't too bad. It didn't really annoy me, and after 2 months of using PopOS, I got really used to where I needed to drag the windows to get my desired outcome. But oh boy, more issues were in the works. Now, the next issue with PopOS I want to bring up may just be something that affected me, but I wanted to share it anyway. After about a month and a half of using PopOS, downloading some programs like GIMP, shortcuts and other utilities, whenever I went onto the Pop Shop or tried to update the system through the terminal, I would get fetch errors where the system would try to fetch packages from the Ubuntu repository, as it normally does, but they wouldn't be there, or so it would claim. Now, I wasn't too concerned because it only stopped updating if I tried to update through the terminal. Really big red flag. That is an issue that needs to be taken care of, but I was sort of a Linux noob, so don't blame me too much about that. But when I tried to update through the Pop Shop, it seemed to work just fine, but last week it wouldn't update any of my packages. I then did what any stuck noob would do and started looking on the PopOS forum, the Ubuntu forum, and Reddit to no avail. I tried around 6 different solutions and none of them worked. I then tried to delete the repository and add it back again, tried to uninstall all of my Flatpaks, I don't really know why I did that one, and that didn't work. Tried to fix and delete broken packages, you name it, none of it worked. I even tried adding more repositories to update certain packages from, nothing worked. And if that wasn't enough, OBS then gave up the ghost due to my apparent outdated or broken NVIDIA graphics, so then I could no longer record video. I tried reinstalling it, it didn't work. I tried reinstalling the drivers, that didn't work. And to top it all off, my system crashed twice while browsing the net, trying to find solutions to my problem, for seemingly no reason, as no other programs were open at the time to conflict with anything. Could be something in the background, I'm not too sure. So, at my wit's end, as of yesterday, I transferred all of my precious data that I wanted to keep, other than my passwords. I forgot about them. And I straight up deleted my PopOS install, and I'm currently using Linux Mint, with the intention to install either Artix or Manjaro as my next daily driver. I feel like in order to learn the most about Linux systems and all that it entails, I need to purposefully make myself use a distro which will need me to do some more heavy lifting and learn from the foundation up, rather than have the apparent false hope of stability PopOS provided me with. PopOS is meant to be a beginner-friendly distro. I only downloaded packages from the Pop Shop or the Ubuntu repository and used it for 2 months, and it became unstable and eventually became unusable for an amateur video maker like me. I can only imagine how much more unstable it can get with a whole host of more programs for a professional who may not have the time or the expertise to troubleshoot and fix a problem like that. But then again, getting a professional to use a Linux distro in a professional environment isn't really possible at the current time. PopOS's market is aimed at professionals and amateurs alike, and to have it become unusable in a couple months after downloading only a dozen or so packages from the Ubuntu repository, no matter what you do, it's not a good look. PopOS is a good distro, and I'm sure if I stuck with it and troubleshot more effectively and for longer, I might have gotten it to work again. But the instability I received from downloading a couple programs from official stores and repositories really put me off, and personally I think it's going to be a long time before it becomes the go-to for activity distro. When distros like Mint, Debian and Arch exist, I do have a bias towards Arch. I will say one thing though, through all of the troubleshooting I went through, trial and error solutions and headache, It has certainly increased my confidence in Linux and has increased my knowledge in general about how to go about fixing problems and implementing the best solutions. Just a little intermission here, I am now using Manjaro Linux, as you can clearly see, and it seems to be working pretty nicely. Even with the full-featured KDE Plasma install, Manjaro Linux has 800 less packages than PapaWest did. That's some good stuff right there. Anyway, that's my little rant over. If you want to tell me what I did wrong, or if you had similar issues, consider commenting down below to let me know. If you like Linux and tech-related content, make sure to subscribe. I try my best with these videos, and I upload videos bi-daily or daily. So, if I informed you, entertained you, or even annoyed you, make sure to tell me and check out my other videos. Like and subscribe. Have a good day everyone. I'll speak to you soon.